everybody, it's Peg, and today I'm working on the September Emerald Creek Dare. If you don't know about it, go over and check their blog because they have a dare each month and you might win something. What they had sent me was a challenge for September, which includes leaves, and so I'm going to use these leaves from their foundry and a Stencil Girl stencil, and yeah, I'm going to make a pretty card because that's the mood I'm in and I need to make a card. So these are lovely embellishments. I also have this other pack. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use yet, but we'll see in the video. So here we go. So the first thing I want to start with is just gluing a piece of paper down to the sheet music. I wanted something different than just the plain white background, so just going to take this and cut it out around my piece of paper, and then I'm going to do a little bit of embossing. I have this, what did I use? I used a gel medium, I think, to put that down through the stencil. And then I'm going to apply several different embossing powders on top. And that's the cool thing about this. You can mix and match your embossing powders. I'm using some copper and some verdigris and, you know, different colors of embossing powder. And I think, you know, once you get to know Emerald Creek and the properties of their different lines of embossing powder, you're going to appreciate them, because some are pearlized, some are glitterized, some are chunky, you know, so I'm using a variety on here. That one I think is one of Seth Apter's. I think it's verdigris, and I think this one is another one of his. It's some kind of chunky rust, and yeah, I think they are really cool because they're different texture. They're not like a smooth embossing powder like what you would normally find. Then they also have their standard line, their classic line, their scented line, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, so I'm just applying these randomly, a little bit here and a little bit there, because I want that variation. I don't want everything all the same color. So by going back and forth, I can achieve the look that I'm after here. Okay, so I've got all of that done, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut that piece once I emboss it. So I'll show you that in just a minute. So what I did was to take a stacking die. It's a rectangle stacking die, and I die cut those pieces. Right now I'm working on the embellishments, and so I'm going to use this dauber and go back to my powders, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the card. I'm going to use multiple different powders on here. Some I'm just going to sprinkle on once the embossing powder is hot, because I want a little bit of shimmer and shine, so I'm going to add a little bit of that bling and get some variation on these leaves. And I'll do a couple of these because I want a couple to go on the front, and you can see me getting out the glittery, I think this might be Thanksgiving is the powder, but yeah, see the shine, see the variation I can't say the word, variation in the coloration of these leaves. Okay, so I really garbled that up. So what I did was I took a stacking rectangular die and I cut my piece into several rectangles and cut another piece of black cardstock, and then I took some craft colored paper that I'm going to use for my card base, and I'm just going to stamp a sentiment, and I'm going to use some Black Raven embossing powder from Emerald Creek to emboss this image that's going to go on the front of my card. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you take Emerald Creek's dare and make something this month yourself that involves leaves and change. So you'll find that information on Emerald Creek's blog, and if you enjoyed this, click the link, the bell below, and the link to go to the blog so that you can see what other people are doing this month. Thanks for stopping by.